I'm going to colour some of these tea bags with distress inks, and the ones that I've chosen are appropriately enough tea dye, shaded lilac, warm lipstick and salty ocean. Salty ocean is from the summer seasonal collection, and shaded lilac is from the spring, and then the rest are just regular ones. So what I'm going to do is take the tea dye and let's get that the right way around. I want the slit on the back where I took the tea out, and I haven't ironed these yet, so they're a little bit creased, so I'm going to take the ink pad and just brush it lightly over the top to pick up the texture of the creases. Right, so now I'm going to add some colour, and we'll use shaded lilac. And I'm just going to go around the edges with this. And these are the ones I did earlier with the other colours. So that's warm lipstick. That's salty ocean, shaded lilac. Looks darker, but I think it'll dry. It's a bit damp still. I think it'll dry a bit lighter. And then I thought what I would do with these is to sew them together onto some sort of backing, and then maybe do some embroidery or something like that on them. So that's the first technique that I've done. Right, now I'm going to take the tea dye, distress ink, and I'm just going to darken the edges a little bit of this one. Tried this with Vintage Photo, and that came out like that, and I think that's too dark. I wasn't very impressed with that. The tea dye is more subtle and it's appropriate. My hubby's been saving his herb tea bags, and I told him not to save them anymore because the stuff inside didn't come out properly, and it's not real tea, and so I don't think they should really be called tea bags at all. And it was revolting, the stuff that was inside. It was really horrible, and the tea bags also weren't the same shape, and they didn't have such a nice texture on them either, so I've dispensed with those. Right, so that's just darkened around the edges a bit, and got this wonderful selection of rubber stamps that I've had for some time and haven't really used very much yet. And there's a number of designs. And I'm going to use this one to start with, which is very pretty. And I've got this ink pad. It's called Colour Palette Pigment Stamp Pad Treasure, and I've had it for ages. I can't actually remember where I got it. It's water soluble, so I don't know, it may not stay on. I just have to experiment and see. Anyway, it's got very sort of narrow strips of the metallic colours, so what I'm going to do is just to use both of those golds, the coppery one and the yellowy one, and just turn the stamp and just get a mixture. I think that's quite nice. There's the design on the stamp. That's that one, and here's another one I did. And that here are some experiments. This is the one that was done with vintage photo, and it's so dark that the design really doesn't show up on that very well. That's one of the coloured ones, and that's also had the creases highlighted, which I don't think quite shows up so well. That one is another one like that, I think. Oh, that's had the creases highlighted with the ink pad as well, and I think that's too much because the design doesn't show up, so I'm going to stick with just doing the edges. I think that one yes, I did do the edges lightly with that one. That's a little bit more definite, so I think I'll put a little bit more on the edges on this one. They do dry a bit lighter. And I think if they had some embroidery, sort of gold thread work or something, beadwork on them as well, they'd be really lovely. And what I'm thinking of doing when I sew them together, these ones in particular, I shall do with a zigzag stitch to stitch them together, using a gold machine embroidery thread. I think that would be quite nice. So that's my first attempt at decorating. Those ones are less successful. Those coloured ones I'm quite pleased with. Quite interesting. Wants to keep the colours subtle. And those are the ones with the stamping, and I can use the other rubber stamps, so I've got a selection of different designs on them and then put them together, and I think they'll have a sort of Moroccan tile effect almost. Well, we'll see how we go. I'll show you how I get on.